Вот оно. ВВС России.
Putin just lost another one of their best helicopters. A Mi-28 attack helicopter of the Russian Aerospace Forces crashed in the Leningrad Oblast of the Russian Federation. The helicopter reportedly crashed in a field in the Volosovsky district. The Russian Ministry of Defense confirmed the crash and reported that the crew had been killed. The causes of the crash remain unknown. The loss of a helicopter of this type was also reported on January 2, 2025. It is likely that the aircraft was shot down by Russian firepower. Another similar incident occurred on July 25, 2024 in the Kaluga Oblast of the Russian Federation. Although the version of friendly fire was not officially announced, on the same day, the Russian Ministry of Defense reported the downing of 4 drones in the region. According to Oryx project estimates, this is the 16th visually confirmed loss of a Mi-28 helicopter by Russian forces since the beginning of the large-scale aggression against Ukraine. The statistics include only losses confirmed by open sources. These losses are confirmed exclusively from open sources, so the actual number of destroyed Mi-28s in various modifications may be much higher. In total, the invading army had over 100 attack helicopters of this type in various versions. 47th Mechanized Brigade's Magura Reconnaissance Unit. Ukraine has new variants of the Neptune missile with a strike range exceeding 1,000 kilometers, People's Deputy Kostenko said. This is actually great news. It's a powerful missile with huge potential, he noted. And this are the results of a Ukrainian drone strike on the Mulino training center in Russia's Nizhny Novgorod region. The strike happened on March 15th. Trump is once again spreading fake news. He is falsely claiming that Ukrainian soldiers are surrounded in Kursk, when in reality they are not, even partially encircled. In fact, even Russian sources are not claiming that they have surrounded Ukrainian soldiers, and the Ukrainian General Staff has denied those reports. Yet again, Trump is obviously lying. Why is he doing this? We really can't understand.
Tomorrow I'm speaking with President Putin of Russia to save some soldiers who are in deep trouble. They're captured. Essentially, they're surrounded by Russian soldiers. So I give you a lot of different things in one news conference, but it's a big deal. They're surrounded by Russian soldiers, and I believe if it wasn't for me, they wouldn't be here any longer. I was able to get them not to do anything at this moment. But it's a bad situation in Russia, and it's a bad situation in Ukraine. What's happening in Ukraine is not good, but we're going to see if we can work a peace agreement, a ceasefire and peace, and I think we'll be able to do it. I'm speaking to President Putin tomorrow morning, yes.
It's no one's surprise that the U.S. is leaving the international group investigating Russia's crimes in Ukraine, the New York Times reported. Washington has informed European officials of its withdrawal. The Biden administration joined the group in 2023 to investigate Putin's actions. Ukraine will soon receive approximately 3.5 billion euros after the EU Council approved the third payment under the Ukraine facility. This brings the total disbursement to nearly 20 billion euros since the facility's launch a year ago. The funds support Ukraine's recovery, reconstruction, and EU accession reforms. Peskov said Russia is against the deployment of Western peacekeepers on Ukrainian territory. A dangerous trend, absolutely dangerous trend. What are the Europeans talking about? The deployment of NATO contingents to Ukraine. And we are saying that a viable settlement is possible only by taking into account and addressing the root problems related to Ukraine, and they are going to create additional root causes. What will come out of this? Nothing good.
Is talking about deployment of NATO contingents on Ukrainian territory. And we are saying that viable settlement is possible only with consideration and resolution of root problems related to Ukraine, and they are going to create additional root problems.
The German parliament has approved a historic bill that will allow investing up to 1 trillion euros in the country's army and infrastructure. On Tuesday, March 18th, the Bundestag voted overwhelmingly in favor of a bill amending the constitution to allow budgetary funds to be spent in excess of the debt limit for defense spending and the needs of the federal states. In this way, the government circumvented the constitutionally mandated debt brake, a mechanism that required the government to prudent budget spending by limiting expenditures. The ultimate goal of the voted bill is to dramatically increase defense spending. Economists estimate that the country's armed forces will need more than 400 billion euros in the coming years. Before the vote, Germany's future Chancellor Friedrich Merz told the lower house of parliament, the Bundestag, that Germany had failed to recognize the fragility of European security in recent years and that it must act now. For at least a decade, we have had a false sense of security, Merz said, adding that nothing short of a complete rebuilding of Germany's defense capabilities is needed. The decision we are making today to bolster our defense capabilities can be nothing less than the first big step towards a new European defense community that also includes countries that are not members of the European Union, he said. The conservative leader noted that Russia is currently waging a war against the whole of Europe, not just Ukraine. It is also a war against our country, which is happening every day, with attacks on our data networks, with the destruction of supply lines, with arson, with contract killings in the heart of our country, Merz said. We will defend against these attacks with everything at our disposal for years and decades to come. It was recently reported that Germany's new political leaders are discussing a 200 billion euro increase in defense spending. These resources are needed to strengthen the country's armed forces against the backdrop of existing and potential threats in Europe. Also, given that the current U.S. administration may withdraw its forces from the continent. This month, Germany began the deployment of its first territorial defense division, Heimatschutz Division, which will consist of 6,000 troops.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.